I'm going to tell you how I met every celebrity, every high profile politician, every power broker. You go like, wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Put it on the floor. Yeah, put it on the floor.
Everyone's always asking me, John, how do you know so many people? And they're not just talking about regular people, they're talking about celebs, high profile people, power brokers. How do you know so many of them? And I go, that's a good question. I start to examine and I figured it out and I made a formula out of it. I did this by mistake my whole life with my business and my career. And boy, did I stumble onto something that was gold. I have in this phone people who you watch on TV, people who you voted for, people whose products you buy. And I did it basically by accident. So I'm not going to act like I'm a genius, all right? And I'm not going to act like, that I came up with some great formula in the lab. But one thing I know is if you have a map on how to get from point A to point B, you can do it again and again and again. If you get there by luck, you can't repeat it. So this is the reason why I wanted to put it into a four-step formula for you. So that way you know how to repeat it again and again and again. And you can get next to power brokers and influencers, and you can foster those relationships to catapult your business or your career. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Now, remember, it is a four-step formula. So you need to know all the steps to the formula in order for it to work correctly. So no skipping or dodging out early. So the first one is meet and greet. It's the interview stage. Now, what do you mean by the interview stage? Well, everyone we meet, we're going to interview. We're going to be like a media person. We're going to ask questions. We're going to find out things about them. You say, well, don't we already do that? Well, when we go to networking events or when we meet people, we are still trying to figure out how to insert ourselves into the conversation. We're always trying to figure out how we can sell them on what we got, or how you can use them as a prospect, or how you can benefit. There's always that motive in the back of our head. So, with this whole formula, I need you to be selfless. You need to throw yourself out the window. It has nothing to do with you. I know what you're saying. You go like, wait a minute, but isn't this networking about me getting connections about for me? Yes, but ultimately you got to throw yourself out in order for it to work for you. You'll see what I mean. So you need to interview them, ask them questions. And I don't mean to be in the interview and interrogation style, but you need to have questions kind of already prepared that you normally ask people to be inquisitive. Like, hey, oh, how long you been here? Oh, you've been in the city that long? Wow, man, I only been here for this long. Okay, so what do you guys do for fun? Or what kind of work do you do? Just questions where you can be building up your mental catalog of who they are. Now you go like, why is that important? Well, every step is going to be able to show you why it's important. But one of the first things I would say why it's important is because you just want to get to know someone, and it will increase your knowledge about maybe what they do, what's going on. So it is good just to learn and to meet new people, but it also sets up the seeds to be planted for step two. So what is step two? Step two is profiling in database. I know you guys are going like, what? Profiling in database? Is this like some type of CSI or some type of detective show where we got to profile people? No, no, no. Okay. This is going to sound a little creepy, maybe a little weird. And this is not how I did it, verbatim. It wasn't quite like this, but this is something I wish I would have done better, and I would have expanded my network even quicker, faster, better. So I'm giving it to you for you can do it quicker, faster, better. Every time you do a meet and greet and you meet someone, the old days you take business cards or whatever else. Oh, okay, ooh, got that. No, take their information. You come home and you have a spreadsheet. On the spreadsheet, you put who they are: James Smith. You put, hey, what they do for a living, what area they live in, any pertinent information about them from your conversation. You know, maybe something they told you about their favorite sports team. Can you talk about sports, whatever it is? All right. So you're building a profile on each person that you did a meet and greet with. This is very vital. Now, whether you want to do a mental one, which I don't advise doing, because as we expand the network, you're not going to have the mental capacity to remember everything about everybody. So having it down on the sheet, on a spreadsheet, is going to be important. I know people go, "Oh, that's kind of creepy and stalkerish." No, it's business. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get to influencers and power brokers. It's all about business. Either you want to get there or you don't. All right. So you make a profile on them. Now, this profile might get expanded as you have more encounters with them, whether it's planned or unplanned. And you might find out how many kids they have. You might find out, their favorite sports car. You might find out different things. And why this is vital and important, or two reasons. One, because if you ever have a planned luncheon, dinner, meeting, network event, anything with this individual or these individuals that you have profiles on, you can brush up on information about them. Not things that are going to be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn ain't going to tell you the things that you're having conversations about, right? So you're going to know more intimate details. So when you get together and you ask them, "Hey, how's Cindy's chemistry paper turn out?" Oh, well, did it was Jeffrey's arm broken, or when did the doctor say it was okay? They can be like, "Wow, this person remembered this detailed information. This is crazy." Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is what high profile power broker people do. They have a database on you. Trust me. What I mean by that is they have a list of information, a profile on who you are, that their assistant does, whoever. So that way they can always stay up, because they meet so many people, they can't remember people. And you need to practice the same thing. Now, I said there would be two things. So first, it was to be acquainted with the individual in case you have a meeting or encounter with them. You can be knowledgeable about them, right? The second thing is because it's going to sow seeds into a third step. I told you they built on each other. The formula built on each other. So let's go ahead and see what step 3 is. Okay. We're in the matchmaking business. Okay. So you're saying, what are you talking about? All right. So now that you have start building a database of people who you are acquainted with in the network, now you can start matching them together. This is something that I didn't realize I was doing until I was confronted by someone. I was at a meeting with about 6 people, and we were talking about a business project we're working on. And the individual said to me, "Hey, John, I know what he does. I know what he does. I know what he does. But what do you do? What are you bringing to the table? What is your value?" And I was a little offended, because this individual I brung to the table. So how you confront me asking me what my value is, I brung you to the table. And I sat back and I thought about it. I brung everybody to the table. Everybody knows everybody because of me. So I told them, I am the glue. I'm the reason why we even have this meeting. And this is what I mean by matchmaking. You want to start taking people in your network and you want to start introducing them to each other, but not randomly. They have to have something in common or need. Prime example, if you have a friend and he needs a lawyer, "Hey, John, do you know any good lawyers? What kind of law?" "Oh, personal injury law." "Okay, well, you know what? I might have some. Let me check." Okay. So I can go in my database. I can look, I got 5. Then I can look and say, "Hey, well, let me see what they got in common." Well, Timmy's daughter plays soccer, and 2 of these people's kids play soccer. Oh, bam, I put them together. So now you just made a connection. You gave 2 of your acquaintance in your network a potential client, and you helped out one with getting them a lawyer resource. Now, I know you're saying, like, "Well, these are high profile people, they have lawyers, they have all." You'll be surprised what they need. Honest the goodness. You'll be surprised what they call you about and asking to need. And you'll be like, "What? You don't have somebody who does that?" You'll be surprised. I'm trying to tell you. I know. I get the calls in the text messages. And sometimes they don't want everybody in their business. So sometimes they use somebody else to do something. But this is connecting the two together. Now, what you just did is you built up trust, equity, and even a bigger bond because you connected people within your network. Bam. That is so powerful. This is the seed to grow this network out of control. And when I say out of control, if you didn't have a database, it would be out of control, but you're going to be able to control it. So, what is the second thing that it does for you with connecting these two and helping to try to grow the network? You want to guess? It plants seed for the fourth step of the formula. I figured you guys have got it by now. Okay, the last one is celebration time. Come on. I can't sing, but I'm Asian myself. In case some of y'all don't know that song, you can look it up. Cool in the Gang. But this is about celebration. You're going to like, what does celebration have to do with the network? Okay, so what you want to do, I recommend every year or every so often, you want to host an event. You want to host an event. You want to either have a venue or you want to do it at your home. And you want to invite all the people in your network, all the people you've done the meet and greets with, and you put into your profile and you built out this database. You want to invite them all. Okay. And that's another thing. If you have them all in the database, you can easily be able to send out emails and text messages and mass. But we'll get into that another time. Right. But you want to invite them. The reason why you want to invite them, this is your celebration mentally of all the people you've met. Now they're going to come to your event. You're the center of focus. You're going to introduce them to each other and you're going to discover something. Some of them are already going to know each other. Wow. And they're going to say, wow, I didn't know you knew John. Oh, I didn't know you knew John. Wow. And that's going to make it seem like you're even more important than what you are because now they have you in common. Now they can have conversations about you. And for the ones that didn't know each other, that meet each other at your event, you are the glue that has brung them together. Now you are doing massive matchmaking and you're doing it right there in live time. So you say, okay, John, I get it. You said step one, two, three, and four. All right. But how's that get me influencers and power brokers? In the midst of all these people, are some power brokers, are some influencers, some you don't even realize yet. But I'm going to tell you how I met every celebrity, every high profile politician, every power broker. It was through someone else in my network that I met. It never was the first step of the relationship. They introduced me to their network. So what happens is when you expand your network by getting equity, by introducing people to each other and taking care of them, and then culminating it with a celebration and bringing them together, they introduce you to their networks. Now your network starts to expand and your network starts to get into influencer and power broker areas. And then once you do this same step over again, then I said, just repeat. Do the same thing as you get into every new network. You do it again, and those influence and power brokers push you up and push you up. And before you know it, you will have phone numbers for every type of influencer and power broker that you need. But you have to follow the steps. You can't skip them. And I'm going to give you one of the biggest rules there is. I'm going to give you the biggest rules, and then I'm going to give you two small ones in the end. Never, ever ask for anything. Never, ever ask for anything. If you want to run away a high profile person, a celebrity, a power broker, ask them for something. I don't care if it's just a simple favor. You ask them for it, then they're going to start avoiding your phone calls. People don't avoid my phone calls because when I call, when I text, they know I'm not asking for something. They know most of the times that I'm offering something in some respects. But never ask for anything. That's the quickest way to destroy those type of relationships. So you said, "Well, how am I supposed to come up if I don't ask for anything?" It will naturally take place because of the equity that you built up by helping them, by connecting them together. They will start to include you into their meetings, into their conversation, asking your advice for how to do things, why to do things, and then they start using you for things that you do and specialize in. They will bring you to the party, welcome you to the table. Now, two other quick things I'm going to give you, and then I'm going to let you go. So you can go ahead and practice this over and over again. If they offer you something for free, don't take it for free. I know you're going like, what? Don't take it for free. This is the power dynamics of relationship. If they're saying, "Hey, I got 2 concert tickets, man, second row, man, boom, I'm gonna give it to you. Me and my wife couldn't make it. You and your wife, or you and your girl, or your husband, and your and you go, whatever it might be." Okay. You offer them, hey, let me pay for that. Let me pay for that. They say no, 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 no. All right. I can tell you how to fix that. You accept it, you see what the value is. Then you go to your database, whether it's here or on your sheet, and you find out things that they like, cigars or wine or whatever it may be. Even though I don't drink, it would be something of that nature, right? And you buy them something they like of equivalent value, and you give that to them as a gift, as a thank you gift. Now, what you just did is level the playing field, and now the power structure is the same. So anytime it's out of balance and you owe them, this relationship's awkward. Now, I'm also going to show you if they owe you how the relationship's awkward. So I'm going to say, never give your services or goods away for free to any of them, to anybody in your network. You're like, what? Dude, this is how you get in. This is how you. No, you offer it at a discount, not for free. Because again, you want the power dynamics of the relationship to stay evenly. You do not want them to feel obligated to you. That's going to make the relationship awkward and weird. They might not answer your phone or your text because they feel like you're trying to call on that favor or whatever the situation might be. You want it to stay evenly. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you level up. All right. So hopefully those worked out for you. Please let me know in the comments if it did. If you like this video and think it helped you out, please click the like button. And also check out our other videos that we have here. Let me get rid of this so I can get them other videos that we got up here. Check them out. And this is your boy J.I., a random podcast. Love you. Take care of yourself. Continue to develop. And I'll see you on the other side.